Bethia asked, "How do you feel? Are you feeling better now?" The child replied, "Yes, ladies, you truly are like a saint reincarnated." Bethia thought, "Sharp kid, I am not a saint, though I have been reincarnated. Honestly, being a saint would have been easier. Getting reincarnated as an orphan twice, that is just cruel. I was adopted by a noble family this time, so I thought I would finally catch a break, but that was just wishful thinking. Because the moment I was adopted, I was forced to work like a dog to pay off my adoptive parents' debts, like a total slave. At this rate, I will be working off debt until I am old and gray. If only 100 million gold would just fall from the sky." "Who was that?" the Duke asked. "My apologies," Bethia thought. "Those golden eyes, is that Duke Russell?" The Duke asked. "I was rushing and did not see you. Are you hurt at all?" Bethia replied, "No, I am fine." She thought, "Did he just apologize for bumping into me? How unlike a duke." She asked, "May I ask what brings you here to the countryside, Your Grace?" The Duke replied, "What else? I came to offer prayers to the gods." Bethia thought, "There is not a soul in the empire who does not know Duke Russell. Sure, he is the only duke in the empire, but more than that, he is one of the rare few who actually believes in the gods. He does not just believe, he reveres them with all his heart. Anything to do with gods, and he would turn into a whole different person." The Duke asked, "You are the healer who treated that child earlier, are you not?" Bethia replied, "Yes, that was me." The Duke continued, "You seem quite talented. I have been keeping an eye on you. May I ask your name?" Bethia replied, "It is Bethia Rail." The Duke asked, "What did you just say?" Bethia again replied, "Bethia Rail." She asked, "Your Grace, are you all right?" The Duke spoke, "Will you be my daughter-in-law?" Bethia thought, "What? There is no secret who the empire's most handsome man is. Just ask anyone on this street. 10 times out of 10, everyone gives the same answer. That is Fitz Russell, Duke Russell's son. He has looks that shine like the finest crystal, and a personality as cold as ice. People say not even noble ladies have spoken more than 3 words to him." Bethia asked, "You are asking me to marry your son, but why?" The Duke commented, "Did you know my son's name? Fitz was named after a god by the same name. Fitz had a mortal lover he cherished all his life. This has to be fate." Bethia told him, "But Your Grace, I am just an ordinary girl from a humble family. I would never be a good fit for Lord Fitz." The Duke stated, "Status does not matter at all." Bethia thought, "Easy for you to say, you are a duke. Marriage between the empire's only duke and a country baron's family. I am sure everyone will say I don't know my place. I will be a complete laughingstock. I really don't want my life to get any harder." She replied, "I appreciate your offer, but I am afraid I have to refuse. I am sure his lordship would not be happy about this either." Fitz came and told her, "I am fine with it. I have no objection to this marriage." Bethia thought, "What is wrong with these two, like father like son?" Fitz continued, "I don't expect anything from you. All you have to do is stand by my side." Bethia said, "But still, this just is not right, my lord. Please think twice. Do you really think someone like me would be a good match for you?" Fitz asked, "Why wouldn't you be?" A person came and spoke, "An imperial order, you must return to the capital at once." The Duke replied, "No, I have not finished talking with my future daughter-in-law." Fitz told him, "Please, you should go. I will speak with her." The Duke said, "We will see each other again soon, daughter-in-law." Bethia emphasized, "Is there a particular reason you have to go through with this marriage?" Fitz replied, "My father never changes his mind once it is made up, and you are beautiful too." Bethia thought, "What, is he teasing me now?" Still, if he is being that insistent, I have got to make him give up for good. She said, "My lord, since we are talking marriage, why don't you come visit my house?" After that, Bethia hid his beauty with the robe. Perfect. "Just as I thought, he is totally disgusted." Fitz asked, "Do you live here, and your parents?" Bethia replied, "Yes, actually, I am more or less an abandoned child." The Baron and Baroness came. Bethia asked, "Mother and father, what brings you here?" The Baroness replied, "We have got some wonderful news for you." Bethia thought, "Wonderful news? That sounds ominous." Both of them told her, "We have brought someone for you to meet. He is your fiancé." Her parents continued, "This is Lord Devon." Bethia thought, "What?" She asked, "What are you saying?" Her parents commented, "Why are you so surprised? The Count has agreed to marry you, and he is going to pay off all our debts." Bethia said, "I refuse." Her mother replied, "But we have already signed the contract. You can't back out now." Bethia asked, "How could you do this without even asking me?" Both of them stated, "We know this is overwhelming, but please, you must consider it a favor to us, after all we have done to raise you." Bethia thought, "All they have done for me? What exactly are they talking about? Like that time I caught a cold and they locked me up alone, afraid I would get someone else sick. Or when they said there wasn't any food and fed me boiled fruit peels, or when they kicked me out in the dead of winter and made me earn my keep. Do they seriously think they did anything for me at all? If your plan is to sell me off like this?" Bethia spoke, "Sorry to disappoint you. I already have a fiancé, Lord Fitzrussell, the heir to the Russell Duchy." Both of them asked, "What?" The Baroness commented, "That is a bit much, don't you think? Why would Lord Fitz propose to someone like?" The next moment, they were shocked. Fitz spoke, "I was given permission to ask for her hand in marriage, judging by the looks of things. I doubt you two are Bethia's real parents. Bethia is such a lovely person, while the two of you are nothing but cruel and downright unpleasant." The Baroness replied, "What did you just?" The Baron told her, "Dear," and then they started whispering. Bethia thought, "What are they scheming this time?" The Baroness said, "My lord, do you perhaps have feelings for our daughter?" Fitz replied, "And if I do?" The Baroness continued, "Well, if you are willing to pay more than Count Devon over there, we will hand Bethia over to you instead." Fitz stated, "Bethia is not your property, isn't that right?" Bethia replied, "Yes." After some time, Bethia thought, "There is really not much for me to pack. For now, I've decided to go to the Duke's estate. I called him my fiancé just to get out of trouble. Honestly, a sudden marriage feels like way too much pressure." When I asked if it would be all right if I stayed at his estate for about a year and thought things over, surprisingly, Lord Fitz agreed right away. Meanwhile, Fitz told the coachman, "Drive the carriage as roughly as possible." After that, Fitz asked, "Is that all your luggage? Let me take it for you." Bethia replied, "Thank you." She thought, it should be fine to let him keep it just for a bit. Fitz thought, there is something really important in there. Bethia asked, "Is the carriage supposed to be this bumpy?" Fitz replied, "I had to hire a coachman in a hurry, and it seems his skills are not exactly impressive." Bethia asked, "Isn't there something else we could do? I am feeling really nauseous right now." Fitz commented, "I am afraid it will be difficult to find another coachman in this area. If you are that uncomfortable, you can sit on my lap. If you get hurt, my father will definitely take it out on me. Go ahead." Bethia replied, "Then, excuse me." Fitz told her, "I will hold you so you don't fall." Bethia thought, this is so much more comfortable, though it is a little embarrassing, and he smells really nice. It is such a warm, familiar scent. Fitz spoke, "That tickles." Bethia replied, "Sorry." She thought, "Please sir, can you please drive the carriage a little more gently?" Next scene. Bethia thought, "No, seriously, this place again. Sometimes, when I dream, I catch fragments of memories from my past life, and every time, I find myself in a place like this. But the memories always come back in pieces, never the whole picture. I can barely even make out the voices. Still, there is one upside. In here, I can do anything. Like, for example, Tithanosa's diary. I can summon things from the real world like this. This book is something Duke Russell is obsessively collecting right now. Rumor has it, it's a record left behind by someone who once spoke with the gods. But more importantly, back when I was at the orphanage, the headmaster gave it to me, saying my birth parents left it behind. It is just one volume out of hundreds, but I kept it, hoping it might help me find my parents, or maybe even just help me survive someday. But it was written in an ancient language, so I could not read it and just kept it again. Wait, I can read it, right? This place is built from my past life memories. Maybe I knew how to read ancient language in my previous life. Let's see. So there is a return to love, a being with a different lifespan. Is that the act of a fool? What is this? I can't breathe. It feels as if I have just learned something I was never meant to know. Who is there? Who is calling my name? Then she woke up. Fitz asked, "You looked like you were having a nightmare, so I woke you." Bethia replied, "Yes. Where are we?" Fitz told her, "It was hard to keep the carriage moving because of the rain, so we stopped at an inn. You seem to have a bit of a fever too. You should stay in bed and rest. Could you bring a damp towel?" Bethia commented, "My lord, you are really quite handsome." Fitz asked, "Is that so?" Bethia continued, "Your mother must be beautiful as well." Fitz spoke, "She is, though she is no longer with us." Bethia said, "I am sorry, that was rude of me. Fitz emphasized, it is all right. It has been a long time. By the way, what were your foster parents like? Bethia explained, exactly like you saw earlier. They were barely even human. When I was little, they scolded or beat me, and when I got older, all they did was make me work. I hardly had anything to eat when I was little. I had to dig through the trash for food. She thought, maybe I've said too much. Then she continued, but at least I don't have to eat rotten food anymore. Fitz stated, please look forward to tomorrow's breakfast. Meanwhile, in the kitchen, the chef thought, why do I feel a chill all of a sudden? The next day, Bethia thought, this is incredible, and it's just an inn. Fitz came and said, good morning. Bethia replied, good morning, my lord, but what is all this? Fitz commented, breakfast. Didn't I tell you yesterday? I said to look forward to breakfast. Bethia thought, just because I said all that yesterday, he prepared all this for me. She replied, thank you, my lord. Fitz told her, please, eat as much as you would like. 1 hour later, Bethia thought, that was delicious. I definitely overate. Even the dessert was perfect. Suddenly they heard a huge noise. After that, they came out of the inn. There was a collapsed building. Bethia thought, his injuries are serious. I can heal minor cuts, but with injuries this bad, it might take a toll on my body. But how can I just walk past someone who is dying? She said, let me at least give them first aid. Fitz told her, please don't push yourself too hard. Bethia replied, don't worry, I am just going to perform some basic first aid. Something feels different. Why is it glowing this much? The person spoke, I can't believe it, the wounds, they're completely gone. Bethia thought, what? I don't get it. I didn't mean to heal him this much. How did this even happen? Fitz asked, are you all right? Bethia replied, yes. Fitz told her, we should leave before more people show up. Bethia thought, all right. Nothing bad is going to happen. A few days later, Fitz told her, I think it is time to wake. Bethia asked, are we almost there? Fitz replied, yes. Before we arrive, there is something I need to tell you. Once we reach our estate, there will be many people who question this marriage, so from now on, I will pretend I fell for you at first sight. Bethia asked, my lord, you mean, for me? Fitz continued, yes, if I say I brought you here because I am in love, everyone will believe it. Bethia asked, then should I act like I am in love too? Fitz told her, you just need to focus on settling into life at our estate. Bethia thought, pretend to be in love with him, just imagining it is so embarrassing. The Duke came and said, I missed you so much. Thank you so much for coming to our estate. Bethia thought, but I am only staying for a year. The Duke spoke, let me show you around. Fitz spoke, father, she will be coming with me. Bethia thought, I have never seen him act like this before. She whispered, even if it is just an act, isn't it a bit much to compete with his grace? Fitz stated, she just whispered she wants to spend time alone with me. Bethia thought, that is not true. The Duke commented, I guess I was being a clueless old man. Don't mind me, my dear. I have prepared several rooms, pick whichever you like best. Bethia asked, isn't this going too far? Fitz replied, I hate my choice. I just wanted to be the two of us. The maids started chatting. Did Lord Fitz really just say that? Bethia thought, looks like the plan worked. No way. Does he really plan to keep this up for an entire year? Next scene, the second day at the estate. The Duke asked, my dear, is there anything you need? Are you uncomfortable? Bethia thought, you are making me uncomfortable. The Duke continued, here you go, have some tea, it is delicious. Bethia replied, thank you, your grace. She thought, this is overwhelming. Fitz told her, you have got something on your lips. Bethia replied, thank you. She thought, that startled me. Honestly, I'm glad he can't act. If he were actually good at this, I might have really fallen for him. Fitz asked, that reminds me, did you ever find that book you were looking for, father? Bethia thought, Tithonus's journal. The Duke replied, that is actually why I went to the palace, and that wretched man tried to set you up with his own daughter. How dare he, as if my son does not get a say. So I told him that my son had already found someone special, which brings me to you, my dear. It will be hard to keep your presence here a secret. Will that be all right? Bethia replied, I will be fine. She thought, he is worried about me. I came here knowing what I was going into. As Lord Fitz's fiancé, I will probably be dragged to all sorts of events, and if I go out, things will get pretty tough. But nothing in life comes free. When I think about everything I will get to enjoy during my time here, I can handle it. Did he just laugh? She asked. Why are you laughing? Fitz replied. I was not laughing. A maid outside the hall thought, so Lady Bethia is making public appearances. Fitz asked, Father, did you hear anything else from the palace? The Duke replied, It seems there have been strange disasters breaking out all across the empire. Bethia thought, now that I think about it, it happened back in the village too. The Duke continued, the problem is, these incidents are not just natural disasters, it looks like someone has been causing them on purpose. And lately, there have been a lot more missing persons reports. Clearly, something suspicious is going on. Fitz asked, so you want me to handle that investigation? The Duke told him, everyone sent to investigate has either vanished, or they have turned up dead. You are the only one who can take on this job, and if you complete the mission safely, they have promised to appoint a new state religion. Bethia thought, a state religion, that is the religion that represents an empire, but what does that have to do with the duchy? Fitz commented, understood, I will return as quickly as possible. Bethia asked, but your grace, isn't this way too dangerous? You are sending Lord Fitz to investigate a case with almost no leads. The Duke spoke, don't worry, dear, my son can use every kind of magic except healing magic. Bethia thought, everything except healing magic, maybe I can help, she asked, is it all right if I join Lord Fitz on the investigation? Fitz told her, absolutely not. Bethia asked, what, why not? Fitz continued, this mission is dangerous, no one knows what could happen, I might not be able to keep an eye on you. Bethia emphasized, I can take care of myself. Fitz continued, I get how you feel, but the answer is still no. What kind of person takes their fiancé to a dangerous place? Bethia thought, in that case, let's see how you like it for once. Bethia asked, don't you care about my feelings at all? My fiancé is about to go somewhere dangerous, all by himself. How am I supposed to just stay here at the mansion? Let's go together, please. Why won't you answer me? Fitz replied, I am sorry, you may come with me. Well then, if you will excuse me. Bethia thought, is he mad? The Duke thought, seriously, he is head over heels for her. Next scene. The aide thought, my name is Aristal. I am Lord Fitz's personal aide. Right now, I am living my very best life, and it is all thanks to Lady Bethia. His lordship used to put off work all the time, but ever since Lady Bethia arrived, he is actually staying on top of his work just to impress her. I can't believe this day has finally come in my life. Fitz asked, what is on my schedule this afternoon? The aide replied, you've got a letter from Count Ellen's estate, my lord. They said there is something urgent they need to discuss. He thought, who is gossiping right outside the office? Then they heard the chatting. How can you talk about Lady Bethia like that? The other said, what's so wrong with it? It's not like I made anything up. If we get caught, we'll be charged with slander. The Duke stated, you two, what are you holding? Both of you, come with me to my office. Aristal, you wait outside for a bit. The aide thought, this should be over in 10 minutes. 3 hours later, the aide thought, his lordship still hasn't come out. If this takes any longer, I'm definitely working overtime tonight. Fitz told them, one day, the young lord suddenly brought home his fiancée Bethia. She was said to be among the top 5 beauties in the empire. Bethia is the most beautiful woman in the empire. A maid replied, yes, why not? The aide asked, my lord, what are you doing right now? Fitz replied, handling something important. The aide continued, there is still a mountain of work to do. Then they heard a loud noise. Fitz asked, that noise, what was that? A few hours earlier, Bethia thought, no matter how I think about it, something is off. Why did my magic suddenly get so much stronger? I did not do anything. If something did change, it would be that I met Lord Fitz. They say if you spend enough time around someone with overwhelming magic, you can start to get stronger too, but that can't be it. The Duke and Fitz hardly seem able to use magic. I give up. Guess I will just study, since I have no idea what is coming next. I should take advantage of this change in power and study up, but first, I need to check just how much stronger I have gotten. Place your hand on the diagram and focus on channeling your magic for several seconds. Why isn't this working? Was my magic energy too weak? Just a little more. What is happening? Back in the present time, Bethia thought, I can't move, everything is going dark. Then she heard a voice, how foolish, you are always causing trouble for others. How dumb can you be? I told you not to overdo it. I am giving you advice here and you just ignore me. Bethia replied, and when has your advice ever actually helped? I can't make sense of this today either. The lady spoke, I could help you interpret that, but you have to actually listen to my story for once. Bethia asked, how much will you help? The lady replied, 5 lines. Bethia told her, that is too short, 1 page, no less than that. The lady commented, fine, let's see, why is life so hard? In my next life, I want to come back as a rock. I don't have a single ally. Everyone just makes things harder for me. Please get me out of this hell. Bethia asked, are you sure you are reading this right? The lady replied, why would I even bother lying? The next line's a little different, so listen up. Today I am actually in a good mood for once. It's because he did not show up in front of me. Bethia thought, who is he? The lady spoke, now about my story. Bethia, wake up. Bethia thought, I am back in the real world. I feel bad I woke up so fast. Fitz came and asked, are you hurt anywhere, or feeling dizzy? Bethia replied, no, I am fine. She thought, come to think of it, I hit the ground pretty hard when everything exploded, but I don't feel any pain at all. Bethia asked, do you know how long I was unconscious? Has it been a few hours? Fitz told her, it has been 5 hours. Bethia commented, that is embarrassing. Fitz told her, I am just glad you were not hurt, I was really worried. Bethia spoke, now that I think about it, how much was it? I mean, how much do I owe you for everything I damaged in your study? I totally destroyed everything in that room. Fitz explained, the study is perfectly fine. If you don't believe me, you are welcome to go check for yourself. Bethia said, then, right now. Fitz told her, but you just woke up, so don't push yourself, just rest for now, stay by Bethia's side and look after her. After that, Fitz asked, did you hear everything? The aide replied, yes, sir, I have gathered everyone in the mansion at the study. Fitz commented, well done, make sure the study is spotless before Bethia wakes up. A few days later, the maid spoke, wow, my lady, you look absolutely stunning. Bethia replied, thank you. She thought, today is the day I am going to the capital for the very first time. The plan is to pick up supplies we will need for the upcoming investigation. Normally, we would send a servant for something this simple, but when I mentioned I had never been to the capital before, he decided to take me there. I have always been so busy working, so the idea of visiting the capital felt like a distant dream. I am actually excited. Fitz came and said, I am here to escort you, you look beautiful. Bethia replied, thank you. The maid spoke, since it is your first date, I tried my best to dress her up. Well then, have a wonderful time. Next scene, at the capital. Bethia thought, wow, she said, look, there is a fountain over there, let's hurry and take a closer look. Come on. Lady Jane came and spoke, I knew it was you, my lord. Bethia thought, how did she recognize him when he is hiding his face in his hood? Jane continued, I am the second daughter of Count Ellen. It is an honor to meet you, my lord. I am Jane Ellen, and who is she? Bethia introduced herself. Jane commented, so you must be the new bride I have heard so much about. Bethia thought, new bride, wait a minute, has the Duke already been talking about me everywhere? Jane spoke, my lord, our family sent you a letter some time ago. Did you happen to read it? Fitz replied, no. Jane explained, recently, people have been disappearing from our county in the south. That is why we are in need of your help, and if you do decide to come, I would really prefer if you came alone. Fitz asked, and why is that? Jane told him, planning to bring your fiancé too. It just seems a bit too dangerous for a lady to come along. Honestly, she does not look like she can even take care of herself. Fitz stated, my lady, what did you just say? Other nobles started whispering, what is going on? Are they fighting? Bethia said, now that I think about it, what brings you here today? Jane replied, well, as it happens, my carriage broke down. The coachman was just hopeless. He could not even fix it, so I have been stranded. Bethia told her, I see, the sun is quite strong today. I would hate for Lady Ellen to fall ill from the heat. We still have a few more things to buy, so why don't we have our coachman take you home? Jane thought, if I borrow the Duke's carriage and coachman, I will have an excuse to visit the Duke's house to return them later. Bethia thought, I can see right through her little scheme. Then she said, lady, the Duke's coachman will take you home. After that, Jane sat in the carriage. The coachman said, all right, we are off. The next moment, Jane thought, what is happening? Bethia asked, my lord, how long do you think it will take her to get home? Fitz replied, no idea. I honestly don't care, Jane was shouting. What the hell is going on? Bethia thought. Time passed faster than I thought, and now it is the day before the investigation. I think things have settled down a bit more. Then she said, My lord, you dropped some papers. Fitz replied, Thank you for letting me know, Bethia said. If you are tired, maybe you should get some rest. Fitz replied, I am all right, this much, I can handle. Bethia thought, I can't help but worry about you. Fitz told her, Give me your hand. Bethia asked, This is a chocolate. Fitz commented, I brought it in case you got tired while practicing. Bethia thought, seems like he needs to look out more for himself. Fitz asked, Are you feeling unwell? Bethia replied, My lord, may I have your hand? Bethia then started using her healing magic. Then she asked, How do you feel now? Fitz replied, I can definitely feel the improvement. Thank you. Shouldn't you take a break too? I'm afraid rest is going to be hard to come by for a while. Bethia replied, Don't worry about me. I eat well and get at least 8 hours of sleep every night. I am more concerned about you. Fitz told her, I don't sleep. You know I have far more magic power than most people. The more mana you have, the stronger your body becomes. You rarely get hurt, and you don't age either. Bethia asked, You mean you can actually live without sleeping? Fitz replied, To put it simply, yes. Anyway, that is how it is. Bethia thought, that is suspicious. The next day, Fitz asked, Is everyone here? They replied, Yes. Fitz spoke, Since this is our first investigation, there is a good chance we will run into the unexpected. If you notice anything, even a little suspicious, report it right away, especially you. If you are scared, anxious, or having a hard time, you come talk to me. Bethia replied, Of course, don't worry about me. After that, a maid asked, Are we sure this is the right place? It is strange they are holding a festival in a place known for constant danger. Bethia said, This area is famous among the locals. Aid replied, Since there is so much foot traffic, some people might not know what really goes on here. Bethia stated, Still, something about this just feels off. From what I heard, most of the disappearances happened in the plaza. But why are there so many people around? Kidnapping someone would be nearly impossible. Aid asked, Or maybe the festival itself is a trap. Fitz asked, Since we are here, want to check out the festival while we are at it? Then Bethia started getting things at different shops. Bethia asked, My lord, would you like a bite? Fitz did not reply. Bethia asked, Are you having fun? Fitz told her, Don't worry about it, I have been to places like this plenty of times. Aid whispered, Don't be fooled by my dad's handsome face. My lord used to run away from home all the time when he was little. It is true, at least until he met you. Bethia replied, I guess he just liked to wander around. Fitz commented, That is a misunderstanding. I was looking for something. That is why I kept wandering around. Bethia asked, What were you looking for? Fitz stated, I was looking for someone I met a very long time ago, a beautiful person. Bethia thought, Well, everyone has a first love, I suppose, but why do I feel so awful? Then at night, Bethia spoke, In the end, we did not find anything today. Fitz replied, You have worked hard enough. It looks like Aristal and Mary are not here yet, so let's secure a room first. 30 minutes later, Bethia asked, You don't have enough rooms either. The lady replied, That is right, there is only one room left. With the festival going on, you won't find anything anywhere else. Aid said, The two of you should share the room. We will find a place, even if it's outside the village. Mary also said, That is right. Besides, Lady Bethia must be feeling tired. Fitz told her, If you are not comfortable, you can have the room to yourself. I don't sleep anyway. Bethia thought, But he looks tired. She said, Let's just share the room. Fitz asked, Share what? Bethia stated, Let's share the room. Let's just sleep in the same room. After some time, Bethia came out of the washroom and spoke, Thank you for letting me wash up first, my lord. Now it is your turn. Fitz was shocked. The next moment, he fainted. Bethia asked, Lord, wake up. After some time, Bethia told him, That is why I told you to take it easy. Fitz replied, I am sorry. Bethia asked, What if you get sick and die young at this rate? Fitz continued, I have lived more than long enough. Bethia spoke, You can't be more than your early 20s. She thought, This really does not look good. I'd better check. Then she said, My lord, this is seriously strange. I can't hear any heartbeat. Fitz told her, This is all because of you. Take responsibility. You can pay me back by marrying me. Bethia said, My lord, your forehead is burning up. I will go get a wet towel, she thought. What, he might be kind of cute actually. The next morning, Bethia woke up. Fitz asked, are you awake? Bethia thought, did we fall asleep like this? Am I just imagining things? He looks a bit better than he was yesterday. Suddenly, Aid came and spoke. Sorry to interrupt your lovely time, but there is something urgent. There was a note written, on vacation, want some quiet family time with no interruptions. Meeting point, town square. Destination, Lake Owen, just bring together their promises, eternal life. Bethia spoke, no matter how I look at it, this is way too suspicious. Fitz replied, yes, that is right, and at Lake Owen of all places. That lake was once owned by a noble named Owen, but after he committed a crime, it was confiscated by the state, or so the story goes, and Owen is also the name of Count Devon. Aid said, but there is a problem with us going. The invitation says only families with children can participate. People would only believe a child was yours and Lady Bethia's if they were truly breathtaking. Fitz commented, if only Bethia were not so gorgeous to begin with. There is one way, but it only works if you agree to it. Bethia asked, and what is that? Fitz stated, you would have to turn into a child, and then I will play the role of your big brother. All right, let's do this. Bethia replied, I am ready. The next moment, Bethia asked, how do I look? Do I really look younger now? Mary shouted, you are so cute. How does a creature like you even exist? Aid asked, why me? Fitz said, are you feeling all right? Nothing hurts, right? Bethia replied, yes, except my clothes are a bit too big. Fitz asked, this is? Bethia replied, it is nothing really. Fitz continued, was it your adoptive parents? Bethia replied, yes, she thought, is he mad? Fitz hugged her and told her, you have been through a lot. Bethia replied, no, really, I am fine. After some time, she was sleeping. Aid asked, so what do you plan to do about them, Lord? Fitz replied, they will have to die, so they can lay a finger on Bethia even when I am gone, and there is one more thing we need to handle. Remember that fluorite mine you found the other day, give the whole thing to Bethia. Aid thought, what? After that, Aid spoke, how many times do I have to tell you? Even if you give Lady Bethia the entire fluorite mine, she would not be happy about it. Fitz asked, and what makes you so sure about that? Aid continued, if you just hand the whole thing over to Lady Bethia thought, am I dreaming? Who is there? Fitz asked, who are you on my family property? Bethia thought, that face, it is Lord. Fitz again asked, answer me, who are you? Bethia replied, my name is, she thought, wait, what did I just say? Fitz commented, that name does not suit you. Bethia asked, then what would? Fitz told her, Bethia, that is the name that suits you best. Bethia asked, why Bethia though? Fitz replied, why, don't you like it? Bethia spoke, no, I do. She thought, he seems a bit spoiled. Fitz said, I am yours, and you will come back to find me, won't you? The next moment she woke up. Fitz told her, we have arrived. Bethia asked, where am I? Is that fluorite? Then Bethia asked, why did you bring me here? Fitz told her, I was going to bequeath the fluorite mine to you, except not really. My father actually bought this mine recently. Since it is near the village we are investigating, I thought I would show you around. Bethia said, wow, can I touch it? Fitz replied, of course. Bethia thought, that is amazing. Then she said, the fluorite changed color. Did I break it? Fitz explained, don't worry, the magic in the fluorite just transferred to you. Now you can absorb as much as you want. Bethia commented, thank you. I am not sure there is any room left for more magic in my body. Fitz continued, have you heard the rumor that your magic grows if you spend time around someone with a lot of it? Bethia replied, yes, but you and Aristal can't really use magic. Fitz told her, it is not just being near them, you have to actually make contact. You and I have touched quite a bit, haven't we? Don't you want this mine? Bethia said, I do, but I would feel bad owing you even more. Fitz thought, I will just have to transfer ownership in secret. Bethia continued, you would probably make better use of it than I could. The next moment, she thought, what is this? It is dark in here, but for some reason I am not scared. Wow, this is like a library. The lady appeared and told her, if there is something you want, why not look for it? Bethia asked, wait, this is not a dream. How are you here? The lady replied, no one else can interfere here, no one at all. This space is from a long time ago. It is a library created by a god. Everything that exists in this world is recorded here. Bethia asked, so gods really existed? The lady told her, of course. Fitz and Bethia were real people too. Bethia asked, if everything in the world is recorded here, then I could find out anything I want to know. The lady replied, for the most part. Bethia thought, this is my chance to finally learn about my real parents. But then she remembered the ladies talking. Duke Russell has been searching for a healer to cure an illness. With his status, he must have seen every famous doctor out there. Still, no one could cure it. It must be that serious. Bethia spoke, I want to find a way to cure the Duke's illness, so this is the book. Then she started reading. At one point she thought, he has 2 sons. The next moment, Fitz asked, are you all right? You are not answering, no matter how many times I called. Bethia replied, sorry, I was just lost in thought for a second. She thought, 2 sons. He probably would not tell me if I asked. The next day, Fitz said, there are a lot of people today, so make sure to hold my hand tight. Bethia replied, I will. There are more people here than I expected. Suddenly she thought, who are you? The little kid said, you are pretty, do you want to be friends? Fitz replied, sorry, but Bethia already has a boyfriend. The kid continued, that is all right. Bethia asked, where are your parents? The kid said, my parents are busy today, so I am out for a walk by myself, but then I got lost. Bethia spoke, you are not supposed to be here without an adult. The kid replied, it is all right. I have lived here for ages. Bethia commented, sorry, but we are busy right now, so we can't play with you. The kid commented, then let's hang out later. I live in that temple over there. You have to come see me. Bethia spoke, I will. After that, the person asked, are you two entering together? Bethia replied, yes, I am Bethia and this is my big brother. The person told them, you two seem very close, you may go in. After some time, Bethia asked, there are not as many people here as I thought there would be. The attendant was turning some of the visitors away. It looks like only kids without parents or those no one would miss if they disappeared were allowed in. Those bastards, my lord. We have to catch the people behind this and throw them in jail. Fitz replied, absolutely. The person came and asked, so how do you like the lake? Bethia replied, it is huge and beautiful and so sparkly. The person continued, I am glad you like it. Actually, there are more places to see besides the lake. Bethia commented, wow, I really want to check them out. This is fishy. The person told them, please follow me. Then he said, if anyone else is curious, feel free to join us. After that, Fitz thought, a mansion, in a place like this. The person told them, here we are. Did you all know, Lake Owen is gorgeous now, but long ago, this area was shrouded in all kinds of ghost stories. You saw the temple by the lake on your way in. Rumor has it they used to worship a strange god there and even offered people as sacrifices. Bethia asked, human sacrifices, what do you mean by that? The person continued, they say people were sacrificed to bring their god back to life. Bethia asked, and why are you telling us this story right now? The person commented, you catch on quick, little lady. Even though all those awful things happened nearby, Lake Owen was always unharmed. Do you know why that is? The answer is right here. Bethia thought, is that? The person continued, a talisman. Let me tell you more about this. Just carrying it will ward off evil and bring you all kinds of good fortune. Bethia spoke, let's go home. This is such a scam. The other kids also said, let's leave too. After that, Bethia thought, but there is still one thing that bothers me. Is it something about the temple? On the other hand, the priest came and told him, the ritual is ready. The head priest replied, good, let's begin, to our god, the great Metheus. Enoch asked, you really came all the way here just to see me, but what about that old man you came with? Bethia replied, yes. Then she remembered 1 hour earlier. Fitz said, we're back. Aid asked, judging by your face, it did not go well. Bethia thought, he must be exhausted, but honestly, who could blame him? A day in Lord Fitz's life, investigation by day, paperwork by night. I wish I could help him, so if I just get to the temple and show him the result, wouldn't that make him happy? So while everyone else was asleep, I snuck out all by myself and came to the temple. Now back in the present time, she said, I left him behind. Colin came and asked, who is that lady? Bethia thought, this guy totally looks like a villain. He is handsome though. She replied, I am Bethia. Enoch's friend. After that, Bethia thought, there sure are a lot of people, is something going on today? The priest spoke, Father, everything is ready. Bethia thought, ready for what? Something is off. Colin asked, why are you staring at me like that? Bethia replied, I was just curious about something. What is your name? Colin introduced himself. Bethia thought, Colin, that name sounds really familiar. And who is that god? Colin continued, the one we worship here is Metheus, the god of bargains. Bethia asked, does everyone here worship him? Colin replied, yes. Bethia continued, so as the god of bargains, he must bring luck in business. Colin replied, not exactly, he receives offerings through us, and in return he grants abilities or whatever you wish for. Bethia said, does that mean these people? Colin replied, yes, they are the sacrifices for today. Bethia again asked, what happens to someone who is offered as a sacrifice? Colin explained, well, the method changes from time to time, but they die. Don't worry, you won't ever be offered as a sacrifice. I mentioned it earlier, didn't I? You look so much like someone I once knew. Bethia asked, do you mean Bethia? Colin replied, yes, so you know her too. Metheus and Bethia were close friends. Honestly, that is part of why I brought you here. Just having someone who looks like her nearby will make him happy. Then they started the ritual. Bethia thought, if I just stand by, they will die. I have to do something. Then she said, Enoch, hide. Enoch replied, okay. Bethia stated, Father, the Bethia I know would never be friends with someone who demands human sacrifices. She thought, my body is too light, I am floating away. The next moment, Fitz came and caught her. Bethia asked, how did you get here? Fitz replied, do you have any idea how worried I was? Bethia replied, I am sorry. A maid came and asked, excuse me, sorry to interrupt when you were busy, but what should we do with these people? They don't seem to be in their right minds. The Duke replied, take them outside for now, we need to question them. Bethia thought, did Father Kellen get away? Enoch came and said, my parents, they're all gone. What do I do now? I am all alone. Bethia asked, my lord, could you perhaps take Enoch to the duchy for a while? Fitz replied, I will allow it, since you are the one asking. You will do better than Bethia, kid. Enoch replied, thank you. After that, Bethia thought, this is awkward. I have never seen Lord Fitz that angry before. It was all because of my mistake. I was blind to the truth, blinded by all the attention I never deserved. I let myself believe that even someone like me might be able to save the day. I got all excited over a minor improvement in my healing magic. How pathetic. Bethia spoke, I am sorry for getting ahead of myself and making you worry. I was a burden to you, my lord. Fitz asked, why would you think that? Bethia continued, it is just, I could not think of any other reason why you would be so angry. Fitz told her, I am sorry as well. Bethia asked, but why would you be sorry? Fitz explained, at the thought that I might lose you, I let my emotions get the better of me, when you are the one who had it so much worse. Bethia commented, that is not true. It all happened because I went out on my own. I am sorry. So please don't hate me. Fitz told her, there is no chance that I could ever hate you. Bethia asked, how can you be so sure? The hearts of humans are fickle, after all. Fitz said, then perhaps I am not human. I am in love with you. I have been in love with you for much longer than you think, so please, do not say such things. It is upsetting. Bethia thought, Lord Fitz, the kindest, most wonderful man in this world, is whispering sweet words of love and telling me my actions have hurt him. Who would not be flustered by that? This is bad. I am starting to like him more and more. The next day, those idiots are still doing their things. Bethia spoke, well then, let's begin the healing process. All of them started asking, what was I doing? Where am I? What is with these clothes? Fitz said, turns out, hitting them with healing magic actually works. Take the ones who have come to their senses to the duchy. We need to interrogate them. Also, we found something else at the temple. When the floor of the temple cracked, the statue shattered along with it, and this is what was hidden within. Bethia thought it was sickening just to look at. Its aura was far too strange to be magic. Fitz continued, this must have been controlling the minds of the kidnapped. Investigating this orb will likely be the key to solving the kidnapping case. Bethia replied, I am glad we found something at least. Fitz told her, this is a vital clue, and we only found it thanks to you. An aide came and said, my lord, I believe it is time for us to depart. Fitz replied, all right, we'd best be on our way. Bethia asked, "Is there anything else going on?" Fitz replied, "There is a very important event." Next scene. Bethia asked, "My birthday party?" The Duke replied, "Yes, my dear, we will throw you a birthday party more lavish than any royals." Bethia thought that was too much. She commented, "Your Grace, since I grew up in an orphanage, I don't actually know my birthday." The Duke continued, "If you don't know it, we will just pick a day to celebrate." Bethia thought he was saying it so confidently. She spoke, "Your Grace, this is really too much, and for you to decide my birthday for me is frankly a bit upsetting." She thought he wouldn't listen if she was too nice about it. The Duke commented, "I had not considered that." Bethia said, "Right, so if we could just cancel the party." The Duke stated, "Since I failed to consider my daughter-in-law's feelings, I must prepare for this with even more dedication." Bethia thought, "I can't get through to him." Fitz told her, "He is doing it because he wants to. Don't worry and just enjoy yourself." Bethia thought, "I will be leaving this place soon. Is it really all right to take so much and rely on them like this?" The Duke asked, "My dear, do you truly not want to have a birthday party? If you are saying no because you really don't want to, not because you feel burdened, please tell me. I am only throwing it because I want to see you smile, but if you don't like it, then that defeats the purpose, does it not?" Bethia thought, "He wants to see me smile." Then she replied, "Actually, I do want to be celebrated, it's just that no one has ever celebrated the day I was born before. It would be fine for me to be a little selfish this once, Your Grace. There is something I would like to ask you." The Duke replied, "And what would that be? I will even tell you the combination to my safe." Bethia thought, "I don't want to know that." She asked, "You are very knowledgeable about the gods, aren't you?" The Duke replied, "That is right." Bethia asked, "In that case, have you perhaps heard of a god of deals?" The Duke spoke, "I am afraid I don't know much about that one." Bethia asked again, "You don't know anything at all?" Fitz said, "Father, I need to speak with you." The Duke told her, "My dear, I am sorry, but let's continue this later." Bethia asked, "What? But I still have more to ask." The next moment she was out of the room. Bethia thought, "What was that? It feels like they are hiding something." An aide came. Bethia asked, "Have you finished questioning the followers?" The aide replied, "Yes, unfortunately, none of their memories are clear. If only we had a small clue, this investigation would be so much easier." Bethia told him, "That reminds me. The priest who seemed to be their leader told me his name. He said it was Kellen." The aide replied, "That name is the same as the imperial princes." Bethia asked, "Have you memorized the names of all the royals? I heard the emperor has over 70 children." The aide replied, "Since my master had no intention of memorizing them, I did so in their stead. It is possible it is just a coincidence, but it is not a common name." Bethia spoke, "If I could just see him one more time, I think I would know for sure, but it would be difficult to see the prince, wouldn't it?" Fitz came and told her, "It is possible, we can simply invite him to your birthday party." Bethia asked, "Would His Highness come to my birthday party?" Fitz replied, "We have already invited the emperor too." Bethia thought, "This is worrying. I am the only daughter of a baron with a dubious background, belonging to an insignificant noble house, who has never made a name for herself. That is my current position in society. If they invite the royals to a party for someone like me, they could feel insulted." Fitz continued, "And on that day, it won't just be a simple birthday celebration, it is the day we will formally announce that you and I are engaged." Next scene. Maid Mary came and asked, "My lady, how are your studies coming along?" Bethia replied, "It is a little difficult, but I am enjoying it." She thought, "Lately, I have been studying about the Russell Duchy. Now that the engagement ceremony has been decided, I need to start playing the part of his fiancée in earnest. But I know next to nothing about the Russell family. When I told Lord Fitz that I wanted to study, he graciously gave me access to the library. But he said, 'I wish you would study me instead of the duchy,'" she thought, but not without some adorable grumbling. The maid told her, "My lady, Enoch was saying that he wanted to see you." Bethia asked, "Is it all right if I go see him now?" The maid replied, "Yes, of course, he is with his grace at the moment." After that, Bethia spoke, "I am sorry it took me so long to visit." Enoch said, "You have grown so much since I last saw you." Bethia spoke, "Your Grace, thank you for looking after Enoch." The Duke replied, "It was no trouble at all. I heard you have been busy with your studies, you must be working hard." Bethia commented, "Not at all. I am the one who is grateful for the use of the library." The Duke told her, "If you have any questions, feel free to ask me anything." Bethia replied, "In that case, may I ask you something? I read that the Russell family has believed in the gods since the time of the first Duke. In a country with no state religion, and where faith is not particularly common, I am curious as to how that was possible." The Duke explained, "There was one thing we all longed for, early retirement. It is a desire that has been passed down through the generations of the Russell family." Bethia asked, "Does that mean every head of the family has believed in the gods for the sake of that one wish?" The Duke replied, "That is not exactly why, but I can't say it is entirely unrelated." Bethia commented, "A wish even the only duchy in the empire could not fulfill." "I am curious." The Duke stated, "There is a flaw in that statement. In the early days of the empire, there was another dukedom besides the Russells. However, they committed treason, and the entire family was executed." Bethia thought, "I have never heard that before. How does His Grace know about something like this?" Enoch spoke, "I'm sleepy, I have to go now." "You have to play with me next time," Bethia replied, "Okay." Then she said, "By the way, Your Grace, there is something I would like to ask of you." The Duke spoke, "You have a favor to ask me. What is it you desire, my dear? Jewels, the latest dress, or perhaps servants, a castle, or maybe a deed to some land?" Bethia told him, "It is none of those. I would like to go out alone." The Duke asked, "My dear, don't you know how dangerous the world is? If I let a lovely girl like you go out alone, who knows what might happen?" Bethia thought, "I have been living on my own just fine until now." Bethia spoke, "Once we have the engagement ceremony, I won't be able to go out by myself anymore. Please, I think of you as if you were my father, won't you allow me this kindness?" The maid said, "Your Grace, if you are that worried, maybe I could join her." Bethia told him, "That is right, Your Grace, Mary is incredibly strong." The Duke replied, "Well then, I suppose it can't be helped." Bethia commented, "I will let Lord Fitz know." The Duke spoke, "Go and get ready to leave right away, my dear. I am only saying this, because I can already imagine what a pain my son will be about it." Bethia thought, "He has a point." Then she said, "Well then, shall we go right now?" After that, Bethia spoke, "It is so nice and relaxing to be out, just the two of us." The maid asked, "Yes, but my lady, where are we going?" Bethia replied, "I want to go to the royal library." She thought, it is the place where every book in the capital passes through, and where Tithonus's journal was most recently discovered. Bethia asked, "Do you happen to know the way?" The maid replied, "Of course, shall we go?" Bethia thought, "Why is Mary trembling like that? The royal library has all the books that pass through the capital, which means the book Mary wrote must be here too. It feels like everyone is staring at me." After that, they entered the royal library. Bethia spoke, "I can't believe it, all of those are books. Should we take a quick look at them?" The librarian said, "Excuse me, are you by any chance Lady Bethia?" Bethia replied, "That is my pseudonym, how do you know that?" The librarian commented, "I knew it, I am a huge fan, can I have your autograph?" Bethia thought, the book's name is, Young Master Peach Brought Home a Fiancé. What is this? Why is he asking me to sign this book? She said, "But I am not the one who wrote this." The librarian replied, "Of course I know that. You are the female protagonist, Lady Bethia, snow-white hair and violet eyes like amethysts. She is an unforgettable, striking beauty. She is the most beautiful woman in the empire, with an IQ over 200 and incredibly strong healing power." Bethia told him, "Stop." She thought, this really is about me, though it is seriously exaggerated. It must have been written by someone who knows me well, so she is the one. Bethia spoke, "I think that is me. I will sign it for you, however, will you do something for me in return? I want to see the library auction records." She thought, if I can see the auction records, I will be able to find out who originally bought this copy of Tithonus's journal, and that person would be my birth parent. The librarian emphasized, "Yes, I can do that, as long as you keep it a secret. In exchange, could you maybe sign 2 more for me?" Bethia replied, "Yes, of course." After that, Bethia thought, this is the study where the auction records are kept, there are a lot. The librarian told her, "You said you were looking for the person who bought the journal of Tithonus, I will help you." Then they started searching and reading. Mary told her, "My lady, this is what you were looking for, isn't it?" Bethia replied, "Yes, you are right. You did a great job, you are the best." The librarian commented, "This date, it was the day of the white light phenomena. It is when the sun does not set, and it stays bright all day long." Bethia said, "So many strange things happen in the capital." The librarian replied, "I have never seen it myself. I have only heard about it. The white light phenomena only happened once, 18 years ago, and it has never appeared since." Bethia spoke, "It is the day of my birth," she thought. On top of that, if it was 18 years ago, that is the same year I was born. She asked, "May I see the information of the person who made the transaction for the journal?" The librarian replied, "Of course, just a moment." Then he said, "It looks like they used an alias back then. Only nobles were allowed to participate in the auction. I have never even heard of a noble with this name." Bethia thought, "After all the trouble I went through to find this, is it the end?" The librarian told her, "Though, if you are really desperate, there is one other way. You could go to the black market. It is a place where they trade information and other goods illegally, but I would not recommend it. Being an illegal market, it is not a very nice place." Bethia thought, "That sort of thing does not bother me, but would it be fine for me to go? What if something happened again, like last time?" Maid Mary spoke, "Then let's go now, my lady, to the black market. There is no time like the present." Bethia asked, "But are you sure you will be fine? You are from the capital, after all." Mary replied, "Don't you worry, I am a regular at the black market." Next scene, Bethia asked, "How did you end up coming to the black market?" Maid replied, "Well, you see, the novel I wrote starring you and Lord Fitz, the Peach Prince brought home a fiancé. Somehow, without me even knowing, it got circulated outside the Duke's residence." Bethia asked, "So you're saying you didn't have it formally published?" Maid replied, "I am well aware of the need to protect the reputations of the master and lady I serve, so I only passed it around among other servants. And some of them decided to line their pockets and sold the manuscript in the back alleys. I begged them to stop selling it." Bethia spoke, "I imagine that did not work. That must have been so upsetting, especially after you worked so hard on it." Mary replied, "It is not just my own hard work. I felt even worse about what I have done to you, my lady. After all, it is like I spread your story around without permission." Bethia told her, "It is all right. When I read some of it earlier, it was full of compliments about me. Besides, thanks to you, I was able to get the librarian's help so easily." Bethia commented, "Anyway, I think the entrance was right around here last time. Looks like they have changed the entrance." Bethia asked, "So the entrance is underground?" Maid replied, "Yes, that is right. It is a place that can't have its location revealed, after all." Bethia told her, "Let me see if I can find it. The most fundamental application of healing magic is to detect life force. The entrance must be in the direction where I can feel a lot of life force." She said, "This way, please. I'm sure I sensed a lot of people coming from this direction." "There was a wardrobe," Maid said. "This is... No way. How can there be such a huge space inside a wardrobe?" Bethia replied, "It might not be an impossible feat. Creating something from nothing is possible if it was made by a conjuring mage. It must have been made by a wielder of conjuring magic, one of the few in the empire, and powerful enough to shape a space this vast." Maid asked, "It's not what you think, my lady. You know Lord Fitz does not care about things like this, don't you? He is only ever thinking about you." Bethia replied, "Still, it is true this is strange." Maid asked, "But what are you going to do about that?" Bethia explained, "I'm just going to see how deep it goes, and it just keeps going. Still, I have to go in. You stay here." Mary shouted, "No, I can't let you go alone. I am coming with you." After that, Bethia asked, "Was it always this far?" Mary replied, "No, this is strange. We should have reached it by now. Oh no, the wall is going to break. There was a blast into the stairs. Lady, we have to fall back. The entrance is just a little further." The next moment, Bethia was going down. After that, she woke up and thought, "Did I fall into the black market? But is this really the black market? Maybe I should not have come after all, but the opportunity was right there. My life is definitely cursed." Duke came and asked, "Can you stand? Are you hurt anywhere?" Bethia replied, "No, I am fine." She thought, "I must have sprained it when I fell." The Duke said, "If you don't mind, why don't you come to my estate and get that treated?" Bethia asked, "And where is your estate?" The Duke replied, "It is the Russell Duchy." After that, the lady spoke, "You idiot." Bethia thought he must be angry because she wasn't listening to her. She asked, "Why are you here again?" The lady replied, "Why would you believe right into that place? This is not something you can brush off. that place is not for the likes of you. Bethia told her, I know I don't belong in a ducal house, the lady said, then get out of there. Bethia replied, I can't, I promised I would stay for a year, and why do you hate the idea of me being at the duchy anyway? The lady commented, whatever, just get out of there. If you do, I will translate the entire diary for you. Would you do that if I told you my reason? Bethia replied, I will hear you out. The lady spoke, the reason you have to leave is. Bethia woke up and thought, I woke up right at the most important part. Anyway, what time is it? Why is it so bright? The Duke came and told her, I was worried. I am glad you woke up so quickly. Bethia asked, do you happen to know what time it is? The Duke replied, it is 8 in the evening, although it is bright because of the white phenomena. Bethia thought, but I think that phenomena ended 18 years ago. Then who is this person standing before me? The Duke spoke, it is a bit late, but shall I introduce myself? My name is Kian Russell. Bethia commented, could you be Duke Russell, by any chance? Where is your son? The Duke replied, my son, I don't have a son. Bethia said, that is not possible. She thought, if this is really 18 years in the past, then Lord Fitz, who is older than me, should have been born already, but he is saying he does not have a son. Bethia asked, are you sure you don't know a handsome baby with black hair and golden eyes? The Duke asked, what is that person's name? Bethia replied, Fitz. The Duke then asked, and your name? Bethia spoke, my name is Bethia. The Duke stated, my apologies, my lady. I will guide you to the one you are looking for, to where my son is. After that, Bethia thought, he is beyond this door. Then she said, it is too bright inside. There he was. Fitz asked, isn't it about time you stopped appearing? Bethia, I am so sick of these hallucinations. Bethia hugged him. She said, I am not a hallucination, my lord, of course, I am not exactly from this world. Anyway, what happened was, do you recognize me? Fitz started hugging her. Like this video, hit the like button, and subscribe for more videos.